Hello, everyone. So another brain performance, brain training live. This live is specifically designed to give you, if not the best, then definitely very effective research-based strategies to deal with stressors that you can't control. You have a coworker who does certain things and they just kind of stress you out, make you anxious, and you can't really do anything about it. It's not like you can tell a person, go change, for me. And in life, there are a lot of things like that are micro stressors, sometimes medium stressors, sometimes macro stressors, either at work or in our environment, or even sometimes in our own home, that we can't really change, but we need to do something with them, because what research shows, if any stressor goes unaddressed, unacknowledged, and you kind of brush it off, this is the worst thing you can do if you are interested in performance, in health, and well-being, because unaddressed stress is going to eat you up from inside, quite literally. It's going to take up resources that you need to deal with life, to be productive, to be high performing. So stress will eat you up. Again, will eat up all of your resources and will keep you distracted and will not allow you to focus and get into your zone of genius, your flow stage, to be effective and present, especially when you're dealing with high stakes, high pressure situations, or just situations that are important and require your full presence and attention. Unaddressed stress will, again, eat up all of these resources and energy and potential and genius that you have, instead of it being used for you to deliver your best results. So unaddressed stress, especially the one that you cannot control, you cannot eliminate, what do you do about that? Well, first step is acknowledging that this thing is important for whichever reason. It is a stressor for you. It makes you feel uncomfortable, tense, stressed, and just not a good feeling, right? So the first thing is to acknowledge that it is a problem. The second thing is to get out of the victim mode. And what one neuroscientist, she is a researcher and recently came out with a book, 7 Days to More Joy and Ease, the stress prescription, where she put all the best research-based strategies to deal with different kinds of stressors and anxiety. And so in this book, she has this chapter that's called Be the Lion. And the chapter is basically about choosing to not be a victim. And that, as research shows, actually changes everything about your physiology, what happens to your brain, what happens to your body. And so what's the idea? What about, Be the Lion? What's it all about? So the story in the book goes like this. Imagine, in savannas of Africa, there is a lion and it's chasing the gazelle. Now, they both are going through a very stressful situation. And their heart is elevated, or the blood is pumping to their limbs, blood glucose is elevated, they are ready to go, stressed, tense. The lion is experiencing positive stress, challenging stress, a stress that's going to make his or its system better, more resilient. The dopamine is released to get the reward. Now, when we talk about the gazelle, it's a different kind of stress. It's life or death situation. You're about to be killed, eaten, and you don't have much choice about it. It's a victim kind of situation. And again, what research shows, two opposite things happen to our body. The first makes our physiology and our brain performance worse. You experience fear. The second, the lion, it ramps up your system, but your body, your brain, they're experiencing a challenge. There is no fear about that. You are ramping up all of your resources and energy to get the result, to get the reward, to get stronger. You want it, right? The dopamine is released. Now, for gazelle, there will be probably dopamine released too, to chase away. But what happens after this stress is actually very negative, and it's going to affect negatively all the physiological system of the animal and of the human being. And if you experience a lot of victim-like stress, your health deteriorates. If you experience a lot of lion-like stress, challenging stress, all of your systems work better and become more resilient. Of course, if you have sufficient recovery. Now, okay, this story. Now you understand where it comes from, the lion and the gazelle. Now, how do you become the lion in life, in situations where you cannot really control the stress? Something stresses you out and you cannot control it. Well, what you do is you actually can change your mindset about that through certain exercises, through certain self-talk. You don't have to write it down, even though writing is usually more effective. So what you do is you ask yourself, okay, about the situation, what can I control? And you can make a list, can be short, can be long, and you actually do these strategies. So maybe you can address the situation a little bit, even if you just talk to this person, telling them, this makes me feel uncomfortable. You don't have to change, but I just want to acknowledge that this is not comfortable or this is not pleasant for me, right? The second strategy is to ask yourself, how is this situation making me stronger? How is it a challenge? How's it making me better? How's it helping to become a more resilient person in my life? By asking these questions, you start to shift your mentality without changing anything in your outside world to the lion's kind of stress, where you are in control, where you are in the driver's seat. And that's going to change everything about the effect of that stress on your performance and your physical health. Right. Let me actually look at my phone and some of the notes from the book. So some other strategies. Yeah. Also, if there is something that stresses you out, you may ask yourself, sometimes you feel like you have no control, but you have the resources to deal with that stressor, again, whether that's mental or physical resources or work resources or otherwise. And so tell yourself that you have what it takes to deal with that, to live with that, to get stronger through that, and to keep experiencing life at a higher level and keep succeeding. Just telling yourself and acknowledging that actually you are strong, you're powerful enough. And also the book suggests to remember the situations where you were in a similar situation and you dealt with it and you lived through that. And actually, that made you a better person. Remembering those situations make you remember that you have those resources. That is not some, lie or something that you just tell yourself, that actually you lived through a lot of similar stuff and you survived and you got stronger. And now perhaps because of that, you are where you are moving forward. So that's another strategy. The third one is to open up your mind a little bit to a bigger picture. Like in 5 years from now, you're kind of like zooming out and you looking on this situation from a perspective of somewhere in the future. Like 5 years from now, will this really matter? Or will you not even remember about that? So is it worth it to waste your health, your mind space, your talent over this tiny thing that you won't even remember, perhaps even, next month, right? So zooming out is a very powerful strategy to make any situation less stressed, less stressful, less charged, and make it what it is, usually a tiny issue that you need to figure out how to deal with, how to address, or just how it can positively affect your life. And I love this book because it brings you back to this notion that compared to other animals like lion, gazelle, they didn't have a choice in most situations about where to be a lion or a gazelle, to be in the driver's seat or a victim. The beauty of human mind, just by shifting your focus, you can change your position. Even if it's in your mind, it will completely change your performance and physiology. And that's a true beauty of human mind, of human brain and consciousness. You don't have to feel the way you feel if it doesn't work for you. You can change the story, you can change the focus, you can shift your focus and your perspective, and that will change your emotions, your thoughts, your actions, and ultimately the results. And the way your life trajectory will go from here, right? So never forget about that here you have power that no other creature on earth has. You have consciousness, awareness, and you can change your mind almost with a snap of your finger. Doesn't take a lot of energy or a lot of time. And the results can be completely different, the ones that you need in your life right now. So back to the stressors you cannot control. Yes, the best scenario, try to control it a little bit. Try to figure out how to address it at least. Don't brush it off. Don't let it sit unacknowledged in yourself, eating your resources from inside. And then the second, just change your perspective. You don't have to be narrow focused on this specific moment, this specific issue for it to be toxic for the rest of your life, right? Sometimes you just can put your stress like a luggage or have it break, and you're going to feel a lot lighter. And that's about it. Friday episode, you're about to go into a weekend. And if you have any stressors, any issues at work that are ruining your weekend, realize that you can also just pack it up in a suitcase and put it down in the corner. And yes, you can also wait if it's not urgent to address it and have a great weekend that will restore you, that will help you to recover, that will boost the quality of your life, right? You don't have to carry all of your stressors with you. Also, remember that you have this power in your brain, in your mind. And that's it for today. Have an awesome weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and stay tuned for other brain enhancing episodes. And by the way, don't forget to check out the link underneath this episode. That's where the link is located, with the link to my Optimized Brain 6-week training challenge that we do with entrepreneurs, business owners who want to understand how the brain works, how to take control of it, so you put yourself on the path to your success, whatever that success means to you. So have an awesome weekend. Check out the link, and I'll see you soon.